They generate more revenue than Netflix, Amazon, and Disney combined. They operate in more countries than McDonald's, and they've never spent a single dollar on advertising. You think you know the cartels? You know nothing. Today, we're diving deep into something that will completely change how you see Mexican cartels. Forget everything you think you know about drug dealers and street violence. What we're about to reveal is the story of the most sophisticated criminal enterprises in human history. These aren't just gangs. They're multinational corporations with business strategies that would make Fortune 500 CEOs jealous. Over the next 15 minutes, we'll uncover 5 shocking truths. How cartels operate like tech companies, the masterminds with MBAs who architect these empires, why intelligence beats violence every time, how they've gone digital in ways that will terrify you, and the genius reason why no matter how many leaders get captured, these organizations never die. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the war on drugs was doomed from the start, and why these criminal masterminds are always 3 steps ahead. Truth number 1 will shatter everything you think you know about cartels. They're not just criminal organizations, they're Fortune 500 companies that happen to deal in illegal products. The Sinaloa cartel alone generates over $100 billion annually. To put that in perspective, that's more than Netflix, Spotify, and Twitter combined. But here's what's truly terrifying. They achieve this with zero advertising budget, no public shareholders, and complete operational secrecy. Let me break down their business model. Like any corporation, they have departments. Research and development creates new smuggling methods. Human resources recruits and trains operatives. Marketing builds their brand through fear and respect. And logistics coordinates supply chains across continents. Their R&D department would make tech companies jealous. They've built submarines, drones, and tunnel systems that rival military engineering. The famous tunnel that freed El Chapo, it had lighting, ventilation, and a motorcycle track. That's not criminal improvisation, that's corporate-level project management. But here's where it gets really sophisticated. Many cartel leaders have legitimate business education. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman studied business administration. Ismael El Mayo Zambada understood supply chain management better than most CEOs. They apply MBA-level strategy to criminal enterprises. Their logistics network spans 50 countries. They have distribution centers, quality control, customer service, and even employee benefits. Some cartels provide healthcare, education, and pensions to their workers' families. That's not gang behavior, that's corporate culture. Think about this for a moment. What legitimate business operates in 50 countries, maintains perfect supply chain efficiency, and has never had a single product recall or customer complaint go public? The answer might disturb you. None. Cartels have achieved operational excellence that most Fortune 500 companies can only dream of. This corporate structure is exactly why traditional law enforcement fails. You can't fight a multinational corporation with street-level arrests, but the business model is just the beginning. The real genius lies in the minds running these operations. Truth number 2, behind every cartel empire stands a strategic mastermind whose intelligence would rival any Fortune 500 CEO. These aren't street thugs who got lucky. They're criminal geniuses who've revolutionized organized crime. Let's start with Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. While the media focused on his escapes, they missed his true genius. Innovation. He didn't just dig tunnels. He revolutionized smuggling infrastructure. His organization built a mile-long tunnel under a maximum security prison, complete with lighting, ventilation, and a motorcycle track. This wasn't desperation. This was engineering excellence. Then there's Nemesio Oseguera, known as El Mencho. This former police officer turned his law enforcement knowledge into the ultimate advantage. He understands police tactics, communication protocols, and investigation methods. He's essentially a criminal consultant who knows exactly how law enforcement thinks. But perhaps the most brilliant was Amado Carrillo Fuentes, the Lord of the Skies. In the 1990s, while other cartels used trucks and boats, he revolutionized drug trafficking by creating an air fleet. He purchased Boeing 727s and transformed them into cargo planes. His innovation increased trafficking capacity by 1,000% overnight. These leaders don't just run criminal organizations, they're strategic innovators. They study their enemies, adapt to new technologies, and constantly evolve their methods. When law enforcement develops new detection technology, cartels develop countermeasures faster than government agencies can deploy them. Here's a question that might shock you. Which cartel leader had formal business education before entering crime? The answer is most of them. El Chapo studied business administration. El Mayo understood economics. These aren't accidental criminals. They're strategic masterminds who chose crime as their industry. This level of strategic thinking explains why cartels stay ahead of law enforcement. They're not just reacting to police tactics. They're predicting them. But their true weapon isn't violence or money. It's something far more sophisticated. Truth number 3 will change everything you think you know about cartel operations. Their real power isn't violence, it's intelligence. While movies show shootouts and explosions, the actual genius lies in information warfare. Cartels operate intelligence networks that rival government agencies. They monitor police communications in real time, track DEA operations, and know about raids before they happen. How? They've infiltrated telecommunications companies, bribed government officials, and created their own surveillance networks. In Michoacan, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel uses drones for surveillance, encrypted radios for communication, and has real-time access to police frequencies. They know where every patrol car is, what operations are planned, and which routes are being monitored. It's like playing chess when you can see your opponent's next 10 moves. But here's their most brilliant strategy: community investment. While law enforcement focuses on arrests, cartels build loyalty through economics. They fund schools, hospitals, and infrastructure projects. In some regions, cartels provide better social services than the government. This isn't charity, it's strategic intelligence gathering. When you fund a community school, parents become informants. When you pay for medical care, doctors share information. When you provide jobs, workers become your eyes and ears. They've weaponized gratitude. The result? Cartels often know about police operations before the officers themselves. They have advance warning of raids, real-time updates on investigations, and detailed intelligence on law enforcement personnel. Violence is their last resort because intelligence makes it unnecessary. This intelligence advantage explains why the war on drugs has failed for decades. Law enforcement is fighting an enemy that knows their every move. But cartels aren't just staying ahead of traditional law enforcement. They're evolving into something entirely new. Truth number 4 will terrify you. Cartels have gone digital, and they're more sophisticated than most tech companies. While you're worried about traditional drug trafficking, they've already conquered cyberspace. Modern cartels operate on the dark web like legitimate e-commerce platforms. They have customer reviews, quality guarantees, and 24/7 customer service. The Sinaloa cartel's online presence rivals Amazon's logistics efficiency. They've gamified drug dealing, but it gets worse. Cartels now launder money through cryptocurrency, NFTs, and online gaming platforms. They've discovered that a rare digital sword in an online game can transfer value across borders faster than traditional banking. Virtual economies have become their new money laundering playground. Their recruitment strategy has evolved too. Some cartels have even entered the ransomware business. They're not just selling drugs, they've diversified into digital terrorism while maintaining their traditional operations. Can you guess which social media platform cartels use most for recruitment? If you guessed TikTok, you're right. They've mastered algorithm manipulation better than most marketing agencies. They know exactly how to make violence look glamorous to impressionable minds. Truth number 5 explains why the war on drugs was doomed from the start. Cartels are designed to survive. Like the mythical Hydra, cut off one head and 2 more appear. This is an accident. It's genius organizational design. Traditional law enforcement targets leadership, assuming that removing the boss will collapse the organization. But cartels learn from corporate franchise models. They operate as decentralized networks where each cell can function independently. When El Chapo was captured, the Sinaloa cartel didn't collapse. It evolved. New leaders emerged, operations continued, and profits actually increased. Why? Because the system was designed to survive leadership changes. They built institutional knowledge, not personality cults. This franchise model has allowed cartels to expand globally. They operate in over 50 countries, adapting to local conditions while maintaining core operational principles. They're not Mexican organizations anymore. They're multinational criminal corporations with global reach. The genius is in the design: resilient, adaptable, and virtually indestructible. They've created criminal organizations that can outlast governments, survive leadership changes, and adapt to any enforcement strategy. So there you have it, 5 shocking truths that reveal the real genius behind Mexican cartels. They're not just criminal organizations, they're multinational corporations with business strategies that would make Fortune 500 CEOs envious. We've seen how they operate like corporations, how strategic masterminds with business education architect these empires, how intelligence trumps violence every time, how they've conquered digital space, and why their decentralized design makes them virtually indestructible. This is why the war on drugs has failed for decades. Law enforcement has been fighting street gangs while cartels evolved into sophisticated criminal corporations. You can't defeat a multinational business empire with traditional policing tactics. The most terrifying part? This is just the beginning. As technology advances, as global connectivity increases, these criminal empires will only become more sophisticated, more powerful, and more difficult to combat. Should cartels be classified as terrorist organizations or treated as criminal business enterprises? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one. If this opened your eyes to the reality behind organized crime, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. We're diving deep into the world's most dangerous organizations every week here on Crime Syndicated.